Monday, March 14th, we're going to find a story about getting stapled to a mountain and women who are... we are now using lockers, and then if you have iPad and you want to check your third 9 weeks grade, you can check third 9 weeks grade. For my class, it is updated. For your other classes, in theory, it should be updated since the 9 weeks ended last Friday. So, and then for my class B points, you have also gained 15 plus an additional 5 if you turn in your Camp Tecumseh thing. So then you can check that if you are wanting to. And then blue sheet is due Thursday of next week. We should get close to finishing out all of the questions today. Maybe not all the way, but down to at least into the 60s at some point. Also, Camp Buddies, those of you, if you have not finished your Camp Buddies, you have a moment to work on Camp Buddies because we're going to be having you guys go through and do a speechy thing here in just a second. Home children, you're going to want to make sure, I'll move my head for you. Camp Buddies, it is due Tuesday at midnight. You do need to resubmit because I got rid of all the old Camp Buddies so I can pay attention to the new ones. You can ban a kid if you want to. You have to put the word ban in front of them, and then you just put it on there, and then I will do my best to make sure they are not in your group. But it also might mean you have to sacrifice friends in your group, so keep that in mind. We will come back. Let's see. Home children, we're going to pause so we don't bore you, and we'll come back to stapling people to mountains.
Ignore him.
And
I can't. Hey, you talk to you. You ignore Mr. Brove, right?
Yep, all the time. Like it's a profession.
It is.
You ignore his directions.
There you go. Prometheus is poor choice, our next one. Last week we left off with seasons being created. When Demeter got sad, what season does she create?
Winter.
So our issue with her creating winter is, in mythology, humans did not have winter up to this point. They'd only ever had summertime. They also did not have any evil in the world. It was a happy time for humans. That whole golden age with Cronus continued on. So this was the first time that humans had winter. Still don't have evil yet. So one day, Zeus and Prometheus are out on Mount Olympus and they're looking down there, and the humans start complaining come wintertime about the fact that it is so cold outside. Their children are freezing into little kidsicles, and when you went to go knock on them, they would break into little tiny pieces. So they start yelling up at Zeus like, hey, is there anything that you can give us to help us out because our kids are freezing and we're really, really sad? Prometheus goes, well, up here we have this thing called fire. Why don't we give it to them, Zeus? And then we can heat them up and they're not going to end up dying. Zeus goes, no fire for humans. Prometheus goes, what do you mean no fire for humans? We can help them out. He goes, 2 reasons why no fire for humans. One day I talked to the Oracle, which was the person who could then talk and see the future, sort of like Prometheus, but through Mother Earth. And there was a prophecy that said the world would be destroyed in flames. We don't know how, but someday the entire planet is going to burn, and that is how everything ends. And he goes, so I'm worried about giving fire to humans, because look at them. They're running around licking trees. They're not very smart in general. If we give fire to humans, it's like giving a toddler a blowtorch and letting them play in a fireworks cracker. Yeah. Nothing good happens from that. For me, he's like, all right, that's kind of a good point, but they are dying. What's your other reason? Zeus goes, my other reason is, when I get angry, I like to go down to earth and stomp on the humans and make them go squishy, squishy between my toes. That brings me joy. Right now, they can't make good weapons. All they have are like sharpened sticks that they use to hunt animals with. And when I stomp on them, they poke me with their sharpened sticks, and it doesn't really hurt. It's just kind of a tickly feeling. But if they get fire, they're going to learn how to smelt things. They're going to learn how to smelt things and make really powerful weapons, like sharp metal things. And then when I stomp on them, they can stab me in the bottom of my foot, and it's going to hurt. And I don't want to get hurt when I stomp on them. If you can imagine, like for you as humans, if you had the hobby of going out and stomping on ants, and you're like, I like squishing ants, and you just go out and step on them, but then one day the ants learned how to like glue thumbtacks onto their back, so when you went out to step on them, like thumbtacks would go in your feet. It doesn't kill you, it just gets really annoying. Same thing with Zeus. It's like, it's not going to kill me, it's just going to get really annoying. Not as annoying as kids talking while I am to try and lose their points, but you know, still some level of annoying that's going to be... So, he says, because of that, we're not going to give fire to the humans. So, he goes, Prometheus, you have to promise me you're not going to give fire down to the humans, because if you do, I don't know what's going to happen. Prometheus goes, I promise I will not give fire to humans while you're awake. So that night, Zeus goes to sleep, and Prometheus realizes this is his chance to take the fire down to humans. So he goes and gets some fire, and he puts it in like this little metal tube, and he like scoops up some of the burning ash from the fire that was up on Mount Olympus, goes down to the human village. He figures, I am going to solve this issue so they don't die off. Goes down there, shows up with his fire, and is like, humans, come to me, I have a good thing for you. But the humans kind of freak out because it's a god showing up in front of them with fire, and he goes, no, no, not a bad thing. And he takes this little thing of fire and he dumps it out onto the ground, like woof, and a whole big fire starts up, and the humans like, whoa, Toasty, bring the kidsicles. And the humans get all around the fire, and they're all excited, and they get to warm themselves up. And Prometheus goes, fire's good, right? And they go, yes. And he goes, watch. And he takes his big foot and stomps out the fire. Smash, smash, smash. And the human's like, what? You just took the fire away. He goes, I know, but here's why. If I come down and just give you guys fire, as soon as Zeus finds out you have fire, he's just going to come down here and stomp it out and get rid of it. So I can't just give you fire. The only way that I can give you fire and not let Zeus take it away, let's back up. How is it Prometheus can give humans fire?
Teaching them how to make it.
There you go. It's like, but if I teach you how to make fire, he can't take that away. So what I'm going to do is teach you how to make fire instead. So he shows them how to make fire. Kira?
It's like that one phrase, something with fishing.
Yes, teach a man to fish, he eats for give a man a fish, he eats for a day. Teach a man to fish, he eats for a lifetime.
Yeah,
Smack him with a fish, he hurts for the night. I might
Wait,
slightly.
That's what you want to do.
There's a different saying in my house.
Shut up.
So he goes, here's what you're going to do. You're going to end up taking these 2 sticks. And they go, magic sticks? He goes, no, normal sticks. And you take the 2 sticks and you just rub them together and go shaka, 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 whoop, and then fire comes out. And he was like, oh, magic sticks. He goes, no, anyone can. So he goes, watch, grab these 2 sticks. And the humans pick up 2 sticks and he goes, watch, shaka, 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 whoop. And the human's like, oh, we made fire. And then they get all excited. They start running around like, hold still, Bob. Shaka, 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 stop moving, Bob. Shaka, 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 stop moving, Bob. Shaka, Bob's on fire. And they think it was the greatest thing in the world. And he goes, now you guys know how to make fire. Zeus can't take it away from you. But we still have a problem. If this is our only town that knows how to make fire, how does Zeus solve that problem?
Destroy the town.
Yeah, destroy the town. So what do they have to do?
Teach them to love.
Like rumors, you have to spread it as fast as you can. Because you're going to have to take this fire, take your 2 magic shaka shaka sticks, run to a new town and start shaka shucking there and start new fires. And then tell them to do the same thing. And the more people who know about this, the harder it is for Zeus to get rid of. And the humans go, yay! And they take off, and he goes back up to Mount Olympus, and the humans start running around teaching other places how to make fire. And they start teaching other people, and they start teaching other people, and it becomes, throughout the course of one night, fire spreads everywhere, these little fires popping up. Well, in the morning time, Zeus wakes up. I was so sleepy. And he goes out onto the front porch of Mount Olympus with a good little stretch going. And he's like, oh, that was good stuff. He was like, you can still see the stars up in the sky. It's so early. And you can see them reflecting off the ocean. And you can see them reflecting off the land. And there's stars all over. Why are there stars on the land? He's like, those aren't Hermes. Hermes comes running. He goes, Hermes, can you go look down there and see those stars? See what's going on? Hermes like, I'm on it, boss. Those aren't stars. Those are fires that are like everywhere. The humans have sticks and they're running around going shaka, 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 whoop, and then fires are starting all over the place. So, not stars, fires. And Zeus is like, oh no, and he freaks out and he's like, how did they come? Wait a minute. He's like, only one person is smart enough to know how to teach humans how to make fire, yet dumb enough to go behind my back. That person being?
Prometheus.
And what did he tell Prometheus the last time Prometheus went behind his back?
He'd kill him if he did it again.
And so he calls Prometheus up and he goes, hey Prometheus, can you come in my office? And Prometheus shows up. He's like, hey buddy. So apparently humans know how to make fire today and they didn't know how to make it yesterday. Isn't that weird? And Prometheus is like, yeah, that's really weird. I wonder what happened. Zeus is like, I have a guess. Did you teach humans how to make fire? Prometheus is like, yeah, you caught me. It was me. I taught him how to make fire. And Zeus goes, what I tell you is going to happen. He's like, you were going to kill me, but I'm a god, so you can't. So what are you going to do? And Zeus goes, well, you're right. I can't kill you. Prometheus is like, ha ha. And he goes, but what I can do is make you want to die. And Prometheus goes, oh. And he goes, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to torture you to the point where you wish for death. Does that work for you? And Prometheus is like, no, I don't like that plan. He goes, oh, you're out of luck. So he grabs Prometheus and drags him up the side of this really tall mountain and wraps adamantium chains around his arms and wrists, this unbreakable metal that was stronger than even the gods. And he chains Prometheus to the top of this mountain. The mountain is so high up into the sky that Apollo's sun chariot, when it goes by every day, it goes right by where Prometheus is, and it actually cooks off his skin and turns him into a giant piece of bacon. Super duper painful. But Zeus goes, I'm not done. Wait, there's more. On top of that, this giant eagle is going to land every day on top of you, rip you open, and eat your liver while you sit there and scream. And then every night it flies away, and your liver is going to grow back. Prometheus is like, oh, yeah, that's pretty bad. And Zeus goes, it's going to last forever. And then that's how long that you're going to have to be here. Prometheus is like, yeah, that's no bueno at all. And he goes, no, it is definitely a no bueno. And he goes, this is your torture. Wait a minute. How about this? I'll let you go if you answer one question. You answer one question for me, and I'll release you, all things forgiven, no hard feelings. Prometheus is like, well, that seems like a trick, but okay, what's the one question you want to know? Well, being that Zeus is the king of the gods, what is the one fear he has? So, knowing that, what is Prometheus' superpower? So what is the question Zeus is going to want to know?
Who overthrows me and how?
Who overthrows me? So he goes, here's the one question I want. Use your little na-na-na, look into the future, and see who's going to overthrow me. You give me the name of the child that overthrows me, I'll forgive you, and everything is good. That's all you have to do. Prometheus is like, oh, okay. No way! He refuses to do it. He goes, I'm not an idiot, because as soon as you find out the name of who overthrows you, what is Zeus going to do?
Kill
Them. And he goes, so I'm not going to be responsible for someone else's death. I would rather you torture me than you kill someone else. No deal. Zeus goes, okay, fine, you're all moral. How about this? Don't tell me the name of the person who overthrows me. Instead, tell me the name of the mother of the person who overthrows me. That way, I just won't be friendly. How's that work? Prometheus goes, oh, okay. No again! Because what's Zeus going to do?
Kill.
Yeah, and for all we know, it might be Hera, and it might be someone that you can't know. So he's like, because of that, no, I refuse to give you an answer. And Zeus goes, fine, until you change your mind, you are going to stay here. And Prometheus stays there for 1,000 or more years. Throughout all of this, he is stuck up on the mountain. He does eventually get freed, but it is not until one of Zeus's late sons comes by, like 1,000 years down the line, and one of Zeus's sons frees him. But that's not until next week. So we're eventually going to get to the son that frees him. And it wasn't even on purpose. It was sort of like an accidental thing. So now when you Google Prometheus, you're almost always going to get a picture of like a big angry eagle coming to go pecky on his little liver. Or you find pictures of him stealing fire. Those are like the two main things that he's known for. Being a fire thief, and then having a bird come nibble on his giblets. So now we have the fact that he is being tortured. Did I answer your question, Kira?
No, I was going to say it wasn't. Wait, which question?
I don't know, you kept raising your hand, but I kept talking.
Was that the one who overthrows him?
I can't tell you that yet.
Oh, it was a good guess.
It does start with an H, though.
Hero.
Hi.
Does Zeus ever figure out who overthrows him?
We'll talk about that next week, actually. That's something we're going to get to.
Bob.
Prometheus and Bob. So way back in the Dark Ages, when I was a kid in the 90s, there was this television station called Nickelodeon, which I believe you guys know for such great things as SpongeBob. There you go.
Every day.
Back in my childhood, before SpongeBob existed, they had a show on there called Prometheus and Bob, which is my first time that I got introduced to Prometheus. And Prometheus and Bob was about a space alien who comes down and tries to teach a caveman how to do things. And the caveman would always screw it up and end up getting like Prometheus killed, and then Prometheus would have to come back to the world. So I had no idea that this cartoon was based on actual Greek mythology, but it's based on Greek mythology. Because here, Prometheus is an alien, but he comes down and tries to teach a caveman how to do things. In Greek mythology, Prometheus is a titan that comes down to Earth and tries to teach early man how to do things. You can still find him on YouTube. I'm hoping that Friday after the quiz, I'm going to get a chance to show you some. Because I went through and found them, and they're still up on YouTube. They're really poor quality. Not like writing-wise, but like it looks like someone filmed it with like their iPhone 2 off of their TV screen. But they exist, and they're out there. So I was like, oh, sweet. So I figured Friday we'll get a chance to watch some Prometheus and Bob's. They're pretty. Oh, and there's also a third character named Monkey, which is a monkey. And Monkey is great because he always picks a fight with Prometheus and stuff like that. But that's for another day.
Prometheus, you seem cool.
Now, Operation Pandora. At this point,
Here we go.
Zeus feels he's halfway done to solving this whole fire issue because he was able to punish Prometheus for giving humans fire. But he's still angry that humans got fire in the first place. So what he decides to do is he's going to torture humans and punish them for getting fire because they knew they weren't supposed to get it, but they did it anyway, so they get punished. But here's where it gets tricky. If Zeus just comes out and punishes the humans, what is going to happen to him that he's not going to like? They stop doing sacrifices and his follower count goes down. So he realizes he's going to have to be tricky. He's going to have to punish humans, but the only way it's going to work is if he gets a scapegoat to blame it on, a fall guy. So he's going to end up framing somebody else for it. And that's where Operation Pandora comes in. So Pandora is where he comes up with this idea to create the perfect human girl. So he gets a lump of clay and he's like, we're going to shape this lump of clay to look like the most beautiful, perfect human female to ever exist. So he was going to go to Prometheus, but Prometheus is a little tied up right now. He would go to Epimetheus, but Epimetheus has a critical role in Operation Pandora, so Epimetheus can't know what's going on. So he goes to the next best person who's good at making and creating stuff for him. Hephaestus. So he goes down to Hephaestus with a lump of clay and he goes, Hephaestus, I know normally you work with metal, but you're pretty creative and good at making things. Can you shape this to make it look like the most beautiful human girl ever? And Hephaestus is like, yeah, I can do that. This is like metal, but easier to shape. I think I got it. And he begins making it look, and he shapes it to look like who he thinks the most beautiful woman to ever be is, and that is Aphrodite. So this girl named Pandora looks just like Aphrodite, but human form. Before Zeus sprinkles the magic dust on her to bring her to life, he begins the big part of Operation Pandora. He takes the little clay figurine around to all the different Olympians. And he goes, here's what I want you to do. I want to make this girl the perfect girl, the most beautifulest, bestest one ever. So I need each one of you Olympians to create some special ability, some great thing, and then give it to her as a personality trait. And that way she has all these great personality things. So he goes to Hera first, and Hera comes up with forgiveness, because Hera's always having to forgive Zeus for his poor choices. She's like, she'll be the most forgiving person ever. And he goes to Artemis, who comes up with courage, because she goes out hunting by herself, and she's a strong female, and so it ends up making Pandora the strongest female. So each god comes up with some special thing and gives it to her, which is how she gets the name Pandora. Pan meaning all or many, and then Dora meaning gifted. So she was thought to have all the gifts in the world. That's literally why her name means Pandora. And then Zeus comes along, and he puts his special gift in. But his special gift is a trick. He puts in curiosity, a little nugget of curiosity, the most severe and strongest curiosity you can imagine. And he takes this little thing of curiosity and smashes it deep, deep into her brain. And then sprinkles the magic dust on her and brings her to life. Once she comes to life, She's a real girl, and life is happy. At this point, we're then going to go into. She didn't know how to spell dad. Because Zeus brought her, I don't know. And so it ends up creating her, and life is good. Those of you who have not already packed up, you can now. Those of you who already packed up, I charge you points. We get to add on to the theme of I hate you, Mr. Brokiak.
Okay.
Thank you.
I lost.